Hello. I'm still pulling you guys up here the way I need you to be. Good morning. How are you guys? It is Thursday morning here in a very, very windy Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, Canada. I'm Lori LaRose. I have Active Stamping and I do lives quite often, actually 4 times a week, no 3 times a week, I guess. I have a class last night. We were making the fun bandstand pop-up cards by Susan Campfield from a few months ago. I just discovered them. They're super cute and fun, lying super flat and standing super perfect. My 2 rules to a good card. I like a card even though I don't mail a lot of cards. Oh, and I have to say, I have a winner chicken dinner. I'll announce the winner. I think it was February 6th. So it's a little late. I was going to announce a winner the following week. Hi, Ross. Hi, Marlene. I had said, hey, make a comment in these next couple days. So I put them all on the spinny wheel, and Alexina Walsh, from memory, I'm not sure if there's an E or an A there, is the winner. So I think I just said I was going to announce it in a few minutes. Oh, well, that's okay. I'll announce it again. And so she is the winner of a card I made. I can picture it in my brain, sort of. We had the option of putting it on a boho or a crumb cake. So I'll have to touch base with her and let her know. Good morning, Roz. Thank you for being here and friendly. We're going to do the ABCs of techniques today. And M is for masking. So I was looking at masking, and there are several ways of masking, obviously. And I asked Keisha last night, Keisha, should I do masking the way I like to? And as I was looking for a couple examples, I think one of the reasons that maybe we don't mask as much as we used to, the die cutting machines came in. So in the older days, we created a lot of texture and depth and layering by actually masking. So just about every one of my stamp sets would have had little pieces of paper. Ooh, I'm just thinking. So, and then she was laughing because last week, not on Thursday, I don't think, but on, say, Friday night, I think, oh no, on Family Day, I was busy making this little card that I didn't get put onto a mat. Good morning, Keisha. I was busy making this little card. She was laughing. She's like, hold off. I actually have a whole bunch of masking. I think I have 3. No, I just have 2 masking ways there. So masking for the clouds, when I put a piece of paper down and colored in and left white spaces, basically, right? And then I masked the campfire in behind them. Sorry, it doesn't want to focus when I get it closer. Anyways, I'll show that one more time when it pops down. But yeah, we used to stack a whole bunch of flowers. You literally would put some in the background and some in the foreground by masking them. And nowadays, we just cut things out all the time. So, anyways, okay, I'm going to pop you down. We'll get started. And yeah, Roz, have you been a stamper for quite a few years? I've been a demonstrator for 22 years. Started Stampin' Up! When it very first came to Canada. Fell in love with it right off the bat. My girlfriend gave me, the coordination of the colors is actually probably what is, well, okay, I love everything about Stampin' Up! But I do think that the coordination of the colors was what nailed it. I had been stamping with black ink, a little black ink pad, and coloring and whatnot. I hadn't been doing a whole bunch. And embossing. I loved heat embossing. But that I couldn't color with, or even, yeah, if you had a red. Sorry, my bangs are driving me crazy. Can you tell I keep fixing them? Oh, okay, you've been a demo for 10. That I couldn't color with red, for instance, because the red that I had for the paper wasn't the right red. Do you know what I mean? And so now it's like, oh yeah, no, this is great. So anyways, love the coloring and just knew I wanted too much. So I knew I needed to do everything at wholesale instead of retail. So becoming a demo for your own self is a great idea. Back in the day, it was like $400 to join. It's only like $135 right now in Canada, and you get $206 worth of stuff or something and no shipping. It's so crazy. So if that's something you're interested in Canada, I will segue to that really quick. Right now it's a really good deal. So touch base with me. I'd love to have you as part of the fun team that we have. And to help you do whatever. Anyways, we kind of need to justify our business at $400, I think. So I started doing some parties and it just took off. I loved it. All right. Hello from, I have no idea, Terneuzen. I know it's in the Netherlands, right? Good morning, Caroline. How are you doing? All right, I'm going to pop it down here. I'm really close right now because I'm putting me down. All right. And I think I figured out something the other night. Sorry. I think I figured out that if I go higher here, maybe not. Okay. I'm going to practice this at some point. About the same time that I ever get my desk cleaned, I will practice where the height should be. The other day when I was zooming in and out, I thought, oh, maybe I can do, and it's evening time. And is it windy? It's windy here. It's a bright, sunny, beautiful day. We've got a, I'm not sure at this time of year if it's still considered a Chinook coming across the thing, but it's going to be warm like stink today for, well, yeah, okay, it'll be a Chinook. I'm forgetting which month it is. It's only March. All right, so we're going to do masking first. I have to say, I got a little birthday card. I got a birthday card in the mail and it's decorated nicely on the inside as well. I'll just flash it for a quick second just so you can see how pretty it was decorated on the inside as well. And lots of sparkly and beautiful. So pick that up in the mail. I'm actually a December baby, but with the strike here in Canada, people have been sending along the way constantly, and I love it. I think part of it might be it caught up in the mail system, and part of it is why don't they want to celebrate me all year? Just teasing. Okay, so masking. We've got a few different ways to mask, and I think I'm going to not do the one that is my very favorite, actually. Putting a piece, not a piece, but putting like a fire. Hi, Pam. Oh, it's rainy. I think I expect it to be rainy there all the time, actually. That's not a fair estimation of your lovely country, is it? So masking, if you don't know masking, if you're new to stamping, please touch base with us. I will show masking another time for sure, another way. And I'll show this kind of masking this time, if that makes any sense. But basically, I stamped this fellow first, and then I put a campfire in behind him and created that. This one actually has also classic of doing... hold on, I will grab that just so that you have some idea with visuals as I'm talking, and it's right here, and I should have grabbed a couple extra things while I was over there. I've got about 4 examples to show, and then we'll get going with this. Masking, I actually hold masks literally in the back of here because I do use this cloud so often. This is from the basic borders from a couple years ago, and essentially you'll lay low, go old lady low. Oh, you know I'm going to be cussing out that I did this now because I'll probably need this little guide in about 10 minutes to show you or to stamp a sentiment, hey? I do keep little things around my desk just for that. But, so a little bit of blue and coming onto the page. Ooh, this is a very strong inky Blueberry Bliss or Blueberry Bushel, I mean. And then I move. You can move up or down, but probably best to move. Let's go up this time. I go down usually almost always. But so this is masking as well, right? And so I've got a little layer, and somehow or another still you still can get it both ways. Do you know what I mean? So that was the clouds that I made in the background. And the masking was, I don't know what I just did with that set. I don't think I put it away. I had it in my hand and, oh, there it is. Oh, no, that's the otters. Oh, musical. I do have it right over here. Never mind, just a minute. Musical Jamboree, LM. Musical Jamboree. Just to clarify as I'm talking, because those that are watching right now are like, what? This is a mask. Oh, and I was going to bring out masking tape. Oh, I still could, I guess. Okay, so I would stamp him, and then I could mask him. So I'll do this really quick as well. And it's going to not be perfect because I'm just going to stamp on this little piece of paper. And in blue. So this is quick little ABCs of stamping techniques that you can do. So you stamp him. Geez, that's a pretty color. Okay, stamp him. I have a cloth. Oh, it's a little bit wet. Maybe I can clean as I go. Wouldn't that be nice? Clean and put away as I talk and go. Okay, lost him. Now, if I wanted to have a full band with him and I needed to put the little wolf behind him, say, or coyote, I guess, who's howling here, I can put this guy like this, or I could put a crowd behind him. The other way to mask right now, although you definitely would want to use masking, that special paper right now, because you could also, so I can do two things. I can come in here right now and mask this way so that his tail doesn't get blue, you know what I mean? Or my classic masking, and again, we used to do like 4 or 5 flowers. And I'm looking around, and honestly, every time, that's when I thought, oh, you know why we don't mask anymore? Because we cut everything out. But if I wanted this guy to be just behind him, I just stamp right over top of him, and there he is, right behind him. So then you could have a whole band, a whole group of critters, just like that. Then I end up keeping, this sticks to the ink a little tiny bit, he gets a little bit. So depending on, if you're doing tons of this kind, he'll get too wet. But mostly when you're just stamping somebody over top of him, you can save these. And I do. That was why I was able to very easily demonstrate that. I didn't need to do him all together at that time, so he's a little bit bigger mask. But then I just keep them in my stamp set, and life is good. Does that make sense? So that's classic masking. I always think of the very classic from one of the catalogs from quite a few years ago. We had a farmer and his barn, and you could cut out the farmer, but of course it was before the days of that, so you definitely would have had to cut him out. We literally just masked him. We cut him out once, stamped him lots, and put that darn barn behind him all the time, just like that. All right, so yes, I do save this guy multiple times and with spare paper around and whatnot. So that is masking. I did that with a fire. That's masking. This is another masking clouds there, and that was the heat embossing that day as well. The other idea that you can have is these kind of guys. And then you take your ink and do that. So I'll turn this over. And masking with the masking templates themselves. Currently, I think, and you get really neat backgrounds. I believe, I looked in our catalog, and I know that we all have a little bit of, how's this catalog work? Can I find it? The masks would have been a little bit more difficult to find anyways, I think. Oh, I don't know if I cleaned this in the first place. I might keep that one a little tiny bit out and give it a bit of rinse, because I'm picking up some green, you guys. This is a classic card idea from that. So the background on that was masked with a thing. The two masks that we have currently, and I'm surprised there's not one more basic ones, but we currently have a really neat stamp set. Something beauty. Hold on, I did not pull them though. Come on, baby, come on. Oh, here, layers of beauty. There's 2 of them. I have both of them because I love them both. Oh, this is my favorite one though. And it has dies, stamps, and the masks. And you can stamp this, and then you layer, and I should have 1,000 cards of this because I had a really pretty Christmas card that I gave to my mom. Yeah, so that one has, oh, and the Forest did, the Forest, I think, and it might be on sale actually, the Forest. Check out the Forest layers, because I feel like that one might be. Then you lay this on top of it. And this is a layering mask, so that's super cool. So that's a whole nother class, because you create the depth. Oh, I can't believe I don't have one of those cards. I do. Woohoo! It's not of this one, it's of the other one. Boy, come out here. Yay! So you stamp the image, then you ink in, then you lay another one of these guys on, and you ink a different color, and you lay another one and you ink another color. And so there's 3 layers of masks instead of just one. And I am positive there's one other one right now, like this one, And you do this, and then you lay another one on top, and you get a little tiny thing inside of it. So it's very similar. I'm not sure where it is. It's not in our annual catalog. It must be on online exclusive. Okay, so that's masking. There's ultimate masking. This is a really fun technique called, ooh, I don't know what this one's called, Retiform. And this is, Retiform generally doesn't have quite as much coloring on, like the whole section isn't necessarily colored, just a little section around the edges. And often in like a pretty blue or crumb cake. And then you do older images, and that's classic Retiform. I was doing a Retiform idea a couple years ago when this guy was out, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna go crazy. And this is just triple masking kind of lame. This is what I'm gonna kind of do. I'm not gonna do straight out the Retiform, but I'm gonna do a kind of an idea that I don't think I have any example of. I don't think I've done it recently, so I'm gonna do that one. And this leads into it. The idea of creating just a little strip. So literally put 2 pieces of paper colored in. And this is what we're going to do, but I'm going to do it with some circles. And then adding a pretty little something, something. And then I roughly framed this. I just really kind of stuck it into a crazy little frame, but added some dimensions. And I thought that was a real pretty one. So I have that one sitting here, happily being happy, right behind my desk, my computer. And you remembered this morning, like? That's cool. All right, so I need to grab a couple. I was laughing because I just threw away 2 circles. Typical. But I am going to use circles. As I'm coming over here, I'm seeing a whole bunch of shapes. So any shape that you have, you could fill in with ink. So you can take any shape at all. I do want to have circles. And, oh, the final one, and I did this. You also can, again, it's masking, rats. I might find it as I'm looking around here. Just the other day when I did, last week, I masked as well, because I masked the moon and went from there. Oh my gosh, I went over there and I didn't even get this. I can do this though. Hang on. Do need a piece of paper to stamp on, color on, and decide which colors we're going to use. What are we going to use? What am I making today? Dun, 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 dun. Question of the day. What will Lori work with? Okay, I'm going to cut one at 5 by 3 3/4 today. No, 5, yeah, 3 3/4. Because I think I'm going to double matte this because it's going to have some extra color. And I do love a double matte, even if it's a poppin' black. But yeah, I guess I double matte a fair amount of times. Not always though. Okay, so there's my piece. I'm going to cut out a circle here. So when you're using a punch, you've only got, hi Kathy, you were in the draw. I did the draw finally from a few weeks ago. I don't know where the card is. That would be way too crazy to know actually where the card is. But I did the draw from the other week of if you made a comment. And I will say this, I will do it again this morning. If you guys are chattering and maybe actually if you say, hey, Marlene, you could say, hey, Vicky, where are you? Sort of. I think if, oh no, that doesn't work. I was thinking, if you guys comment names, does it pop up their name? Like, does it highlight them? Because then I'm thinking, does that notify them? Here, this is why I knew I had the moon. I was doing a half circle of moon, right? Anyways, Alexina, and I can't remember in my brain right now if it's Walsh or Welsh. I didn't type it out, so that's probably why I just did Alexina, because she was probably the only Alexina we know. What colors are we going to do today? What are we working with? I do love, and behind here I'm just looking, I love that stamp set. And it might be a decent one to work with. If I do 3 images and have these 3 images on a card, they actually all work together. So what I'm looking for in my mind, I'm going to do a spotlight kind of, and stamp within that as well. And I haven't done a ton of that. This is sort of like, Keisha did something like this the other day. Oh, you know what? if Garden Meadow is still available, you know that I think you should get it. Garden Meadow. I don't know if it's still available. I'll see if my computer comes up. I'm going to do this one because I am dreaming of some springtime, and my local nursery is advertising for their barrels. Hey, Walsh. There we go. You won, Missy. That's funny. Sorry, I just couldn't remember if it was a Welsh or Walsh. I kind of thought it was Walsh. You won the card. I don't know if you remember from way back 3 weeks ago. I was going back and I finally pulled all of the names from the couple days, and you were the Miss winner. So will you send me a message, actually, hon? Asking, oh, here's this too. Telling me, I don't know if you remember. It was, I feel like it might have been the toadstools on a backing of something, and we needed to know if it needed to be on blue, boho, or on the crumb cake. I think it was February 6th if you go back. This is that, it's not pretty, I just love it. So 2 layers of green by masking. It literally is built in 4 layers of masking on these, or there's usually just 2 or 3 layers on the flowers, but there's 4 different ones to help do all of that. Well, no, the leaves are also on there, but anyways, okay. So now colors here. I want to do, what do I want to do? I always do fresh freesia. I love fresh freesia. I'm going to do fresh freesia, blue, and then, I was going to do sea foam, but I have lost my sea foam currently until just right now. So tomorrow night is cocktails and cards. When I'm losing things, you get to profit from it. No, profit in the sense that you get to drink. No. Drinking might not be profiting. I always caveat, please drink responsibly. I also am totally teasing because most of the girls probably drink in water. I do have a couple friends that totally laugh because they're like, we needed to open another bottle of wine. You lose so much stuff, Lori. Ha, 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 ha. All right, I don't need to sign in. I just need to, Garden Meadow. I'm just going to see if this guy is on sale still. I'm still going to use it because I love it. Garden Meadow. So the dies are $9.80, and sadly I think the stamp set might be gone, which is really weird. Let me just type in the number here. So the dies are still available for $9.80. And I'm kind of surprised, I don't think they're in here. There is an arch and a fence and a couple grasses. Most of it is to cut out the images from here. It's for $9, it might be okay, but it is not a complete standalone set that I sometimes recommend the dies. Darn it. Okay, so it's not available. It's kind of fun, bad to use it then in my mind right now, right this very second. I know you guys don't really care. Everybody has these different sets, so it's all kind of a bit of the same. But, oh, I have the new one. That's what I'm looking for. Here it is. Storybook Garden. I thought they worked well together. And a lot of it's sort of similar, but, oh, this one's bigger. All right. Look at me. Look at me sadly taking this one away. It's so sad. It's such a pretty little set. So now what I'm looking at is I'm definitely only going to get pieces of this image with the size of circle. But anyways, okay. So we're masking today. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? I am doing the ABCs of masking. We are on ABCs of stamping. We are on M. I'm doing masking. I'm just showing, I kind of in a way, I hope, that although I'm just starting to do the cards, you're just in time. I do hope that everybody felt like, no, but she stepped us through a whole bunch of stuff. I wasn't just babbling. I wasn't even doing hardly an infomercial. I was naturally excited about, I was talking about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So I think I was okay, even though I'm just getting going with the card. What I don't have, you guys, is very much, so kind of the rule with the blending brushes, and the and our inks is you want to start off the page. I love the glass mat. You still have a couple days left with celebration. That if you, sorry, I tend to be at the bottom of the page. I was watching these. Hi Betty, how you doing? Oh, so am I blaring inside of the whole thing? I shouldn't be overly loud, or do you have me in your ears? Betty is a librarian at one of our local schools, which I'm excited. I just got another donation to go in. I need to wrap up. I actually have one girlfriend, well, I loosely say girlfriend because she's a teacher that I like to work with. I'm going and I stamp with the kids. Okay, so I'm going to start off the paper and come in. And I did not meet Betty this way. I have known Betty for like 16 years. She's our local Tupperware lady, and I am the local Stampin' Up girl in my small town, hey? All right, so I think I just want light images. And similar to this Rediform, in the sense that you can think, Rediform generally, when you color around it in crumb cake and you actually stamp it in crumb cake, sometimes if you're looking at examples, you'll see it done in crumb cake and then stamped in the black. I chose definitely I used like 4 colors. Did I use 1, 2, 3, 4 to do black because I didn't think it would look so good. But I also could have stamped it all with this blue color kind of thing. I say all of that because I'm not sure if I want to keep this open, if I'm going to stamp in freesia or if I'm going to stamp in black. And I believe I'm going to stamp in black my images. And essentially we will not need to color our images this time. So the images are kind of important. And I am still kind of thinking what I want to work with. Sorry. Ah, lordy, lordy, lordy. And it's already 10:30. That's okay. I'm only going to show one thing. I was showing and sharing all the other stuff. I actually saw this one was up. Let's see if it's available. 162815. It is. I'm positive this was the Way of the Dodo Birds. I really like this set. And so it's still available. I'm going to work with it. I am going to then stamp in black. I'm going to stamp one of these guys. While that's still there, I'm going to stamp it. I think that saves time and realigning. And so we're going to go for it. So I'm going to put this little guy. I'm going to do 3 different ones. I'm going to put that in there. So I'm going to go 3 different circles. And I'm just thinking in my mind, do I even need to have this in here? It might be nice instead of having this and this and this. So the card's going to look a little bit like that, except this guy's going to be here. But it's just ironic that that's happening. And I think I like that better than having this wishy-washy thing. So not that it's wishy-washy. It's very pretty and probably makes lots of good cards. I would bet anything that if I actually hadn't peeled it off, I'm sure it's still stuck inside this thing. Little hack if you are brand new to me, I leave my piece in there. That keeps this guy from, because he's not actually stuck down, it just keeps him in place. It also in a heartbeat on my desk, if you have seen my desk ever, I think you get an impression just from the edges. Really quick as I go to put this away, I take a peek and I'm like, no, I'm missing that stamp. Where is that kind of thing, hey? So, all right, black ink pad. I put it away last night. I have to go back over here. And come on over here. I probably might actually need proper blocks now that I'm doing it for real. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this little guy. And I think, am I going to actually, okay, so the one thing that's different with this, I use cardstock. So when you're masking, you want thin paper. And I think I'm going to go correct this right now. I'm going to go see if I can find that masking. As a good demo, I should be promoting the masking paper. I don't know that this paper is absolutely necessary unless you are... I did think I had it right here, though. I will tell you that. Where is my masking paper? Well, that's kind of sad. I don't even think I can promote it because I don't even think I have it. I mean, I know I have it. I don't use it a lot. In real truth, you guys. And oh, here it is. But let's see how it works. Yeah. All right, so this, it comes like this. Find out how much it is while I'm right here. I'm in here this morning anyway, so let's see how much it is in Canada. It has sticky on the back because we mentioned lots of times that you should use, what do you call it? $9.75, and it gives you 12 pieces of this paper. So it's good. You can reuse some of it again and again. I will say I wouldn't use this. Okay, so go with inside my head. I was thinking, oh, I should cut some of these out in my basic borders because I use that over and over again. I wouldn't cut these out because of how much I move it. In this case, when masking is really good is when you do not want it to be moving. So when you're blending like crazy in this case, I think, maybe I will try one. It's got a little split. Oh, and I think I read somewhere it doesn't anymore. But anyways, and so I'm just going to cut right here. I'm going to use, I'll cut it in half. Look at me. I'm deciding. What am I doing, Lori? I'm cutting this in half. Okay, this definitely does not need to be bigger than this. And I'm going to take this and redo it. When you go to stamp on here, I'll show you what happens, just so you know why I'm like, what is the big deal, Lori? The fatter, the heavier the card, and I'm using cardstock. I use copy paper because it's right handy. I grab it and I cut it, and any kind of scrap paper because it's thinner, because this is going to jump the edge. And so when I stamp it, it actually, hold on, I have to show you by inking it first because otherwise you won't know that it's stamped the edge. Hold on. I'm doing a full demonstration today. So when I stamp this, you can press a little harder and that helps. But when you stamp it, you see that I'm missing the edge and it will look weird. That's just the bottom line, okay? So as soon as I went to stamp it, I know it's gonna jump. If I had used copy paper, I probably would have just went forward. So the serendipity is we get to see how it works when we have this fancy paper. So, and we're really gonna find out how this works because I am not a user of it very much. Okay, so we're gonna punch it out. So we have my mask still, okay? And then the nice thing, my understanding is it's pretty wet. I don't need all of it, but I did nicely cut it on here. I'm happy that I have lots of extra here because of what I'm doing. If I was using, I'm gonna save this because that'll be an excellent moon somewhere, right? And I can stick it on there. So I will put that back. I'm being very good. I'm putting stuff back right away. So unlike me. It's absolutely beautiful here in Rocky Mountain House. The sky is blue. So the prices I'm listing are Canadian because I am a Canadian. And if you have any questions, I would love to help you. I have heard that this is very sticky and is hard to come off your project. I'm going to put it on my jeans just once to take some of that stick off, just in case people are telling the truth. In fact, I'm going to do it twice. All right. And then I'm going to bring it down here, bring this mask in. Okay. And now I can stamp this guy. And I guess I'm just going to stamp it once. Let's see what it goes like. Okay. So there's still that little tiny bit of a jump. All right. It is sticky. It's not detrimental so far yet. There we go. Okay. All right. I don't think they were telling lies when they said that. Okay. I think I'm going to do the other bottom one, and then I'm going to do a slightly bigger one if I can over on the other side. So I'm bringing this guy in here. Nice. It's ripped. I'm going to off-center it. I'm going to do this one in my green. I already have it open. Nice. I'm not sure why. Did anybody see me open that? What was I thinking? Hi, Cornelia. So yes, I'll give away this card. Why not? Hopefully it's good. Maybe I should finish the card before I say that this is what I'm giving away. I will do another draw, hopefully a little bit in better timing. Let's get me on to track here. So definitely starting off the page, the light green is a little softer, and I think I might have been using a Mossy Meadow. I'm really bad because I just keep reusing the same basic color. But this is, just a minute, I'm just cleaning off. It is Old Olive, I think. And that's not what I want on my project. Generally speaking, it's usually not too big of a deal. Looking over there to see if I have another green one. All right, so just getting most of it off at least, because it's not going to be the color I want. Oh, sucker. What am I trying to say? So starting off the page and coming on. The more intense colors, the more important that is. I was going to say at one point, celebration is for a couple more days. $75 in Canada gets you something free. The seagulls are a great free, by the way. I love them. I was doing some fun little stuff with this guy. This is another freebie that you can get. This guy actually is a freebie right now as well. Botanical something. And yeah, so lots of freebie stuff. And so this glass mat, stay focused, Lori, for 10 seconds. And then I'll come back to where Betty is in my project. The glass mat is, I think it might be, is it $82 maybe? And that would get you earn you a free set as well, or put you towards earning one of the doubles at 150 here. All right, and black. And so, yes, when you're inking on a full page, as I was doing the other day, you literally can bring the ink, like what you left behind, you can put back onto your project too. So I love working on the glass mat. I really do. All of us demos that are doing lives and working on the mats, when we say we love them, we actually really do love them. In truth, I was a little skeptical, but I really am loving it. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this guy. And on the two corners, give it a little extra squeeze there. Nice, yay. Okay, and these are not getting cleaned. And then I'm going to come back in here. Oh, right, I got to keep working on this. Taking this off. It is very sticky, can I say. I don't know if they reformulated it, honestly. I know mine have been bought for a long time. Because I think maybe I thought I read somewhere that they don't have that split down the middle anymore. I literally put it on my blue jeans like 4 times, I think. It's still super sticky. And I think it might be almost too sticky. So I'm not saying don't get it. That is not what I'm saying at this point. I'm saying make sure you unstick it before you use it on your project. Because otherwise, I think you might wreck it. I'm not sure how. I'd have to, I guess I could bring back in this to save my masks. Yeah? Let's see, does it stick back on there? Not so much. Okay, so that being said, why am I not closing this? What is the matter with me? Close my black. This one doesn't want to be closed. You close. I feel like it's a little bit crazy and it just keeps opening on me. Look at what I did. Did anybody else notice that? I knew when I stamped it the second time for the demo that it wasn't like right, but I didn't even think it. Actually, the black went onto my fuchsia. FYI, don't be alarmed. Anybody who's like, what? Lori, what are you going to do? I'll show you what I'm going to do. Nothing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't make a difference. Let's take this little guy, for instance. I'll show you. It's okay. Don't panic. Don't panic on my behalf, you guys. And don't panic for yourselves. I'll stamp directly onto there. And when I stamp on here, we'll see if there's any black at all. Let's see if it's muddy. No, right? So it's not even there, right? The other thing that you can do is, well, you can push it in and blend it around and that'll just add a little depth, but it really, even on, it's a light color. So you could be a little alarmed. If it was more solid image, guys, still don't get too panicky. Don't get too crazy. You can blot it with just even this, you know what I mean? It's not even picking it up. Like there's nothing, right? But you could sort of blot it and it would pick it up, okay? So if you're really concerned about it, just blot it out, okay? It's like your lipstick. You need to blot every once in a while. So not a huge concern. 100 years ago, so I had Stampin' Up! For 22 years, right? We had a Hershey's Kiss. I don't actually even know how Stampin' Up! Decided that they would take that imagery, but they did. And I had my chocolate chip pad, ink pad, because that's all I have. I'm going to put this back on here because I want a little bit more stiffness. So I didn't intend this at first. It wasn't the reason I was checking it out, but now I'm like, oh, that'll give me my stiffness that I want. I just got to go get, I want to do a slightly larger circle. So, oh. It's not slightly larger. I have like 2 sizes. Boom and boom. This one's too big, I think. How big is this? This is gigantic. Hang on. I'm going to go and try and find a slightly larger circle. Hi, Lara. I think I said Lara already. Hey, so if you guys scroll back and forth, and I have no problem that's what you're doing, but I'm thinking that's what you're doing. And Stampin' Up! Is, I'm going to have to remember my names of people who've come past. But maybe it's your first time. So Alexina is our winner chicken dinner from a couple nights ago. Doing a kind of an idea of that now. I'm just over here trying to find a slightly larger circle. And maybe we only have small and giant. Interesting. 92 circles there, and none of them are just slightly larger. All the punches we have, and I don't have a slightly larger one. Come on. You know what's really sad? Right at this very second, I'm looking at deckled, and I do not want a deckled edge. So that's not going to work. I would like to have a slightly larger circle. I cannot believe that's that one and that's that one. Wow. Okay, well, I'm kind of surprised, can I just say. I don't even know if this is going to fit on here. This is, right? He's going to be too big. Huh. Well, that being said, where's this punch? Hang on a second. Look, that's the one I want. Where do you think that guy is? Do I own it? Interesting. Sorry, guys. I'm like, where's that circle from? That's no bigger. Just barely, maybe not. Sorry, I'm thinking that might be inside of some stamp set. Does anybody recognize that one? I'll come over there in a half a second. You guys are like, what are you doing, Laura? I'm trying to find a bigger circle, but it's not working. Okay, so just FYI, this is that $9.80. So you would get this great arch, which might almost be worth it. You'll see in all the, and it cuts inside and outside. And it's a dash instead of the new arches are dots. And then there's a couple pieces of grass, 3 pieces of grass. And the rest is absolutely from the imagery. Do you know what I mean? But just FYI. Now, did anybody say where we thought this was maybe from? I'm looking at this guy. And in my world, they could be from 422 years ago, not just yesterday. Oh, I can show you this pretty. This is another sky I did. I love doing the skies. All right. What size is this one? That's even bigger. Well, I am disappointed. I don't know where this circle came from. And I don't know where it went. Oh, okay. Let's see what this one is. I just see one here. Hang on 1 second. Let's see what this is. Sorry about that, you guys. I felt like I was on a roll. All right. If it was Friday night, I have misplaced. Here it is. Never mind. Stop drinking, I'd say. Stop it. You don't get to drink anymore. So I could do a fresh one, or I'm not sure how many more times I'll use something like this. So I'm just recutting around this circle. And a slightly larger circle. Oh, with hardly any masking space. I didn't think of that when I laid that on there, did I? All right, I have enough room because I'm... Okay. Oh, it is still just giant. It's a little bit smaller than that. It's still too big. Oh, rats, you guys. Boo. I hate that. All right. I'm going to just come back in the same color. Not the same color, the same thing. And you're like, what are you doing now, Lori? Yeah, I brought back in this one. I'm going to add in the blue. I'll show you an adaptation. I do like the masking paper. I'm not mad at the masking paper. I'm mad at my circle situation and my lack of preparation. I did think about doing this particular one. I honestly, last night, that was my topic of conversation. What are we going to do? Which one should we do? I'm using it's a little bit darker than, I'm using Balmy Blue. This is a little darker than Balmy Blue. If you don't clean your blending brushes, you have different variations of color. Hey, speaking of skies and stuff, I did get this pretty paper after all. Everybody's working with it. And I just saw on Sarah Douglas's page, the artisan talking about the artwork and that her paints were sometimes one color. She doesn't actually have Stampin' Up paint. Do you know what I mean? And so then they change it. But a lot of times when you mix the paints together, so sometimes although the hues are azure, say for instance, if you put this right up against the piece of paper, you'd be like, oh, okay, it goes together beautiful, but it's not exact, like it's not right. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm taking artisan, you know, I'm like, do. Okay, so now, you know, it's just going to jump, and you know I'm not going to be happy with that. So I'm going to see. Okay, so I'm going to cheat just ever so much. I'm going to pull this over just a hair here on this side, because this is a side that I need to jump more than the other, which might really hoop me on this side. If you were multi-stamping, if you were taking a smaller image, I would literally just move this all around. You know I'm sad that I didn't do this. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it on my pretty piece of paper, so I need to punch this out on the other side now. Oh, you know what? Woohoo! Saved by my life, sort of. Ah, this will work. Yay! I have this. So, haha, fooled you. Stick it to the big man. Okay, so put this back over. This doesn't have enough. I will be stamping on my image, so I still need to put this on too to keep it masking, okay? I am just making a lot of work for myself, just so you know. That's all that's going on right now. In case you're wondering, it doesn't have to be so complicated. I do have to find some circles. There's no way that I have nothing in between this size and this size. For goodness sakes. Somewhere in my world of 22 years, I have to get a little organized. Okay, stamp. Block. Here we go. I'm glad you guys are talking amongst yourselves. I'm talking to myself here. Are you talking about this, Allie? The glass mat? I think Vicky's helping you buy it, right? But just shy of that. Yeah, because you're an inking girl right now making fairies. 14 inches wide. Or height, I guess. By 17 inches. 14 by 17. 14 by 17. It does have the rulers. Yeah, you'll actually, with all your inking that you're doing nowadays, you're using blending pens more though. Are you using a lot of blending brushes? I'm trying to think your project. I think you are actually. You're doing beautiful coloring. So we have a site called, a group page I'm trying to spit out. Creativity for Everyone. And it is for everyone basically. So I'm going to put a lot of him on here. Okay, and since this piece of paper is already over, I'm going up even higher. So I'm just trying to, I'm not masking. At this point, I'm covering. I'm protecting. There is a difference between protecting and masking in my mind, just FYI. Okay, here we go. And it's a subtle difference, but there is a difference. I'm just going to leave that there for 92 seconds while I close this up. I'm wearing white cuffs today. That's mostly why I was kind of, in a backwards way, aware that I had an open ink pad. Ta-da! Love it. Okay, now we'll peel this all back, see what it looks like. Add a sentiment and call it a day, you guys. Again, gently. So it definitely sticks in place, which is nice if I was busy masking, if I was busy blending. But you do want to be careful. And this little circle, the one that I used actually was from a different set, and it has a texture. Oh, and look, it did have a texture. It was open, and I got two little tickies there. Dang it, that's sad. Right there, right through there. Nice. All right, well, that's just a masking error. All right, so there that is. That's cute. That's a neat thing. And then I could just do a complete, practically a one sheet, and stamp some words. You're in my thoughts today. Enjoy your day. This is full size. I think that might work. Enjoy your day. And do I want to stamp over? I could. Oh, you're in my thoughts today. It doesn't fit as good, so I think I like this. Or you're in my thoughts today. So sometimes when you are watching other demos, they have done a lot of this guesswork prior to them actually sitting down and stamping with you. You get to see it live. My creative process. What looks good? Oh, we belong together. We belong, we belong. This is going to be, oh, that's kind of cute. That'll look just about the same. Enjoy. The typing is going to be over here, though. So it will be a different font. Not a font, but a different, slightly different look. Let's show you the different look. How did I just lose my block again? For goodness sakes. Oh, because I was demoing how I stamped incorrectly. This one is not full. Okay, so that is We Belong Together and Enjoy Your Day. Is interesting because the written one, both of them are nice actually. Doesn't matter. I kind of like it going across there. And then the other one that I have here is this one. So this is a Stampin' Majig piece of paper. Usually I just use a piece of surround from around, but in this case, if I actually want to nail this with this thing, I could do this. So this is the other idea, and then I could tie ribbon around there. And that'll fill in the white spot, maybe even fill that in. So I really love that. Really love that. But I feel like then I have too much white space. And I think I am going to back this on a little piece of, well, I'm going to go grab 3 pieces of paper. One being black, actually. And for a mat, because a black mat is always a good idea. And what color is that? That seems darker. And I'm going to try freesia as well. Hang on 1 second. And I think I'm going to do it all onto a white card base, though. Oh, this is not freesia. This is, you know, I have it in my head that I'm working with bubble bath. Maybe who knows? Maybe I put it in the wrong spot. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. And freesia. Let's get rid of, no, I'll leave that open for a second. I do have freesia. This guy, always a little bow tied. I gotta hurry, I'm gonna run out of time. This is really, I'm surprised how pinky this looks. Like, it's not as freesia-y as I thought. Anyways, so I can put it onto a freesia background. Oh, that is pretty. Really pretty. And then have that there with a ribbon down here. ribbon tied all the way around, right? Or I'm liking this. What do you guys think? Put it in up the top or putting it down here and tying a ribbon around? If Connie's here, I know she's going to say a ribbon. I don't think I'll wait till it goes on sale if it does. Oh, okay. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. If it's this guy, I'm not sure when it'll go out. I don't like this one. Isn't that funny? Like, just really not. So that's out for me. And the snappy black, I do like as well, right? So then if I do this, why I went over and got it is because if I'm doing that, then it kind of goes towards basic, and some more white is actually okay. And if I do the pink, I think then we need to, the freesia, then I feel like then I need to add some stuff. Because then it's feeling naked. Weird, hey? Isn't that, that's a weird kind of concept. I would put a whole thing across there. I'm going to go with the black just because I think I'm running out of time. So this card totally has two ways to finish it. I would put a piece of ribbon across here. I'll show that just so those that are not visualizing it completely. When I walk into a house with a realtor, I never, when she's talking away, I'm like, what are you talking about? So that I would do like a Bowie kind of a thing. And I would have your in my thoughts up there, right? That little you're in my thoughts. I would totally do that. Love that card. That's gorgeous. When I take off that pink background and put it onto black, I can do it my other way. And I threw the wrong piece. Did you guys see that? I'm going to do this and this. In case you forget, I'm Lori LaRose. And I'm not sure what time it is, but I think I'm supposed to be on another call as well, so I better get my butt moving. Now, because this is kind of critical, I'm actually going to come in here with my Stamp-on-the-Jig. And I think the last time I used this, somebody went on and bought this somewhere. So these are still available to the best of my knowledge. Not from Stampin' Up! Though, FYI. But I do love it. So you get your